What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, in case you've never been here before, thank you all so much for being here. Now, what I typically do is go over some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then we get in and I talk with and interact with you all in the live chats, and we talk about just different rumors through movies and just other things out there in the news, and it's always a good time every single time that you guys are here. So, just like every other time, I'm going to start off like I do every other single week, talking about a little bit of comic books. Okay, now the first thing I wanted to talk about was, well, first off, I didn't really get any of my comic books read this week because it's been a very busy week, in case you guys don't already know. In case you didn't watch my video that dropped earlier this morning, I am a small business owner, and I keep pretty busy. I've got three kids, and constantly busy. And I actually just had a load of freight come in, and my kids helped me work it. We just had a very busy Wednesday, Thursday. It's been crazy. I haven't really got a chance to read many comic books, but I did get a chance to read one, and it was something important that I wanted to do. Because I'm sure you guys seen a few weeks ago where I was here on the show live and I threw Giant Man in the trash. I literally threw these issues, or at least this issue, right in the trash. Okay, and so I went out and I wanted to, I don't know, how would you say, maybe conduct a little experiment and see, I don't know, maybe see how this writer is, like if it was just this book, because this Giant Man book, to me, it really seemed like the only point in any of these issues were to write a comic book, to print a comic book, and to sell a comic book. Nothing else really happened in this story that really served the narrative of the War of the Realms. The mission that they were set upon wasn't completed. Just everything that happened, it just really served no purpose. I mean, really, all we seen was that Giant Man, Atlas, and God, who else was there? Ant-Man and Goliath. They were all just on a journey of self-discovery. And I don't know. So what I did was I went out and bought another comic book from that same writer, and that comic book was Barbarella and Dejah Thoris. Now I gotta say, obviously you can see it's Barbarella and Dejah Thoris. They are female characters, so I figured, hey, you know, I might get some of the same kind of stuff in this book. And you know, I did see some, like, obviously it's the same writer. I can tell that she obviously just the kind of stories that she likes to tell are, I mean, I guess it's similar. People are just kind of discovering themselves, and people get away with doing bad things, and you know, it's okay because, you know, we don't need personal responsibility. I mean, who wants to be held responsible for the stuff that they do, right? I mean, for real. So anyway, like I said, I don't know. I guess maybe just her particular writing style or what she likes to write about isn't really for me. Because the one thing I did think was maybe it's just like a thing where this particular writer just happens to, you know, be given this book to write, and maybe she was like, okay, I'll write something, and maybe that's where it went. But that's not exactly what happened. And you know, like I said, maybe I'll do a more in-depth review on those kinds of things at some other point to let you guys know about those. But the next thing I have to talk about, and you know what? I guess before I go too much further, I should say, did you guys see that shirt? Did you see that shirt right there? Respect the source material, for canon's sake. Not sure if you guys follow Young Ripper 59 here on YouTube. You should go check out his channel. But it was one of the shirts that he had there, you know, for sale, and I went ahead and purchased one. I really wish that I actually had the another one that was in the mail, because it would have been perfect to wear tonight. But it'll probably be in by next week. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was another thing that we've seen a lot lately was Spider-Man. We've been seeing Spider-Man a lot in the news lately. Spider-Man Far From Home is getting ready to come out at the theater. We saw some other stuff with J.J. Abrams that we're going to talk about in just a little while. But Spider-Man, okay. You guys know I love my Spider-Man, right? You guys know that. I mean, I love Spider-Man. I got a Spider-Man suit. If you guys weren't here, was it last week, maybe the week before, you guys seen my Spider-Man suit? I'm a freaking geek for Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man there, Spider-Man there, Spider-Man. Hell, I got Spider-Man everywhere. It's everywhere. I am Spider-Man. Look at my Tony Stark here. But the thing here is Spider-Man. Look at this. Okay, we got Amazing Spider-Man. This is the main story arc for Peter Parker right now. One book right there. Okay, man. Peter Parker, Amazing Spider-Man. That's one. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This is Peter Parker once again. Main storyline. Like he's in the main universe. Okay. Symbiote Spider-Man. Woo! Peter Parker. This takes place in the main Marvel universe as well. And then Spider-Man Life Story. Right? Spider-Man Life Story. This takes place in the main universe as well. Now this one, granted, is telling his life as he would have aged progressively from the 60s all the way through. This is the 2000s, and that's what that story is telling. And you know what? And Symbiote Spider-Man as well is more of a throwback to right after they came back from Secret Wars, came back from space during Secret Wars back in the 80s. So then the next one that we got is Spider-Man City at War. Another one. This is Peter Parker. This is from the Gamerverse there. Now, this is the PS4 Spider-Man, but, I think, gosh, but regardless, it's still Peter Parker. It doesn't take place in necessarily the same universe as the rest of these, but here's the thing. Is like, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Spider-Man books. Right now. This isn't even including this right here. But what was this? If you guys seen my comic book pull list this week, that's not even including Spider-Man in the League of the Realms. Alright? Another Spider-Man. And granted, some of these are short, they're just mini series, but like this one right here, Spider-Man Life Story. It's got 2 issues left. Symbiote Spider-Man, I think it's the same thing. Issue 3, I think it's got 3 issues left. Spider-Man League of Realms is done. Amazing Spider-Man is ongoing. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is ongoing. Spider-Man City at War, there's 2 issues left on this. But as soon as they get done with this one, they're getting ready to start another one to replace it. And then we got some news that, soon after that, J.J. Abrams is going to be starting one, or maybe not even J.J. Abrams. It's his son. I'm sure his son probably wrote, and he's like, oh, yeah, I wrote a couple of bubbles so my son could write this comic book for you guys. Did you guys see that video, by the way, that they did on Marvel, where they were talking about that? Like, am I the only one who watched it? I was like, ooh, that was pretty cringy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but, overall, I guess the message is here, like, come on, guys. That's, like... Literally the other day, I was sitting there reading, I think it was Symbiote Spider-Man. I'm sitting there reading this book, and I'm like, oh, this story's good. And then I started to realize something. I'm like, which was the book before this? Which story? Like, I started to think about it. I'm like, it's almost hard to even keep in line. Because I'm getting, like, basically every single week, I'm getting 2 new issues of Spider-Man. You guys know I love Spider-Man, right? I do. But, like, even I'm sitting here reading this, I'm like, wow, this is actually ridiculous when I've actually been keeping up with these series, and I can't even keep them straight in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure what's going on with all of that. And like I said, some of them are coming to an end, but then they're going to be replaced with more. They're going to be replaced with more. And you know what? Honestly, like, I may pick up that J.J. Abrams one. I don't know. But really, I'm feeling like, come on, man. What? Can you just stick to making a movie? Why don't you work on Star Wars, bro? Work on Star Wars and fix something over there instead of coming over to fuck up more comic books, okay?
There's too much fixing to go on there.
Just watch. Yeah. Yes. Just watch some. Just. Go fix some goddamn Star Wars and leave Spider-Man the fuck alone, man. Marvel's already doing a good enough job of cramming more than enough down our throats. But yeah, I don't know. I maybe that's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Because to me, like I said, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but even I find this to be getting a little bit ridiculous. And I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let me know what you guys think about that. And as you guys can see, I do have a guest here on the show today. And you guys have probably seen him before. This is my friend. Richard. You guys have probably seen him before. Now, in case you guys haven't been here before when he's been on the show, this is... Okay.
Oh, no.
This is the inside source over at We Got This Covered.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you guys knew that, right?
Here we go.
Yeah. This, go there on their little clickbait website. And speaking of clickbait, we're getting ready to get right into that. You go on their little clickbait website and they run their little story like, oh, like whatever. Kevin Feige said this or that. Or inside sources tell us this is the inside.
Yeah.
Spider-Man going to be in it?
He's going to be, the majority of it's going to be a majority him and Norman Osborn, who will be the main villain starting. He'll be teased at the end of Far From Home. He'll be taking over Stark Towers.
So that's true. Norman Osborn is taking over Stark. You heard it right here, folks. You know what? Screen Rant is actually scared to bring their own source onto their channel, name them in their articles. I've got them right here on the show, folks. Right there. Right there.
Yeah, no joke.
No joke.
No joke.
Okay. Now, before we get into any more rumors that we want to confirm for you all, before we get into any of that,
before we get into Galacticus.
The one thing I wanted to talk about was
Galactus.
Now, I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to see. This is just something that kind of cracked me up. Something happened last weekend when I was, I don't know, I guess just trying to enjoy a peaceful weekend at home, and I sent out a funny tweet one day. And my
first mistake.
Yeah, Tweeter. You know how Tweeter. You guys know how Tweeter is. So I sent out this tweet, and lo and behold, somebody went and retweeted it. And of course, what happens is somebody took offense to that tweet that I tweeted and came at me for it. Now, the person that came after me was this guy who's like some big YouTuber, and he's I'm sure he's got a big head. I mean, it sure seemed like he had a lot to say, but the second I tried to confront him about it, he didn't really have much to say. And he came right out. If you guys should go out and check my video out. You guys are probably going to have till the end of tonight before that is for Patreon members only, and you can watch it for $1 and all of some other videos that I'm going to be doing over exclusively there. Okay, now the thing is okay, so what happened was I tweeted this tweet sharing somebody else's video and saying, hey, there's these people out there clickbaiting you. You should go check out my friends over at the Den of Nerds, and they'll Josh over there will set it to you straight. And then naturally somebody retweeted this and tagged Cosmic Warren over at the Cosmic Wonder, and and naturally he struck back. He he retweeted something like, oh, you're calling people out on your show, and
did you call someone out?
I didn't call anybody out. He said, you're always calling people out on your show to try to get people to come to your channel. I can see by the number of subscribers it's clearly working. And I'm like, I got this message, and he deleted the tweet. And I'm just like, because I got the update on it. I'm like, I seen it, and I'm like, what's this all about? And he's like, oh, I just, I don't know. I guess I didn't feel like being negative. I just feel like people only use Twitter to attack people and everything. And he's going on this, and I'm like, bro, that's what you just did. What are you talking about? Dude, who the fuck are you? I didn't even fucking talk to you. Somebody else mentioned you on my shit. And you're gonna come at me like a little bitch? And then when I try to call you out, you're just gonna.
Oh, see, you called someone out.
Well, yeah.
That's what they're talking about.
Well, I called him out once he. Called him out once he came at me.
This has been a very effective session. That'd be $50.
All right. He's got me. He's got me. No, but really. Yeah, and I just like I said, this dude came at me, and then he wants to back down. And I'm like, well, dude, let's talk about it. And I don't know. You guys should go check out the show. It was pretty entertaining, to say the least. And the funny thing is he actually was sending these messages where after he sent that tweet, he's like, oh man, I'm sorry. He's like, I want to do some more content like you're doing anyway. And all of a sudden kissing my butt, and I'm like, bro, you can't fucking touch this, bro. Stick to your little cute voiceovers and reciting fucking Reddit lyrics, bro. You ain't got no talent, all right? You're an asshat. Get the fuck out of here, dude. And then
who's that other one that?
And that's just the thing, though. Is these people get on there, and they got these channels, and they think because they got 1 million followers or 500,000 followers, that makes them king shit. Somebody cares about them, dude. I don't care about your channel. I don't watch your fucking channel. I don't care about you. But then you're gonna come out at me like I care. Fuck out of here, dude. Hell out of here.
The Cosmic Wonder.
Yeah, and you know, and the thing is that you can tell this dude, he's just somebody who's afraid to speak his mind and say and just be himself, because you know, like I could tell when he's messaging me, he's like, oh, I deleted it because, like, you know, like, what if I offend somebody? What if I offend somebody and I lose a potential viewer because, you know, I'm an asshole? Well, we're all assholes, man. Face it, who cares? Get on, dude. Like, I don't even know what's wrong. And this just goes. It's just the same thing. Like, which is pretty much what we have to talk about all together. And something that we talk about on the show a lot is like the reactionary culture these days. Like, dude, you reacted to something, like you came at me when I didn't even say nothing to you. So of course, yeah, I'm gonna fucking come at you. But the thing is like it's the same everywhere. You know, every time something happens, everybody just has to have this big knee-jerk reaction to it, and it's okay. We got feelings, but like, you're like triggered, bro. Like, you got problems. Like, get in the gym and work them out, or get a girlfriend and get laid, or smoke a joint, or drink a beer, do a line, whatever it is you do, do that. Just calm down.
Get off the internets.
Yeah, get off the internet, and don't think that just because somebody tweets something that they're talking about you, because, like I said, we don't care. Okay,
so I guess that's all you wanted to know about Phase 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just stop. No,
we're getting there. We're getting there. The next thing I want to talk about, and you know, before we get into too much else, maybe we should get in here into the live chats and see who all else is here, and we'll say what's up. And to everybody here, let's see if I can pop this out and make this a little bit bigger. Oh, too bad the words can't be bigger. Can the words be bigger on there?
There's a bunch of thumbs on there. Someone put a bunch of thumbs on there for some reason.
I don't think so. Ooh, that was...
Is that
Right.
Fonzie?
Okay, there we go. Now I can read. I'm blind, man. All right. So it looks like we've got King Shifter here. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Anthony Gucci, welcome to the show. Cue Ball, welcome to the show. Let's see... we got Fatal J here. Fatal J's in the house. Alpha Proto. Just a Rican and his comics. Let's see who else we got here. And again, thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Aggressively relaxing.
How you doing?
I appreciate it. Always good. You know,
medication.
Aggressively relaxing. I seen you dropped a video earlier today. I was busy working. I didn't get a chance to watch it, but you can rest assured that I'm going to watch that. If you guys haven't checked out Aggressively Relaxing and the videos they do over there, they do some great videos. What they do, what he does over there, they do like these, they cover comic books, but they do them in radio parodies. So it sounds like you're listening to a radio and like a little show comes on. Great stuff. Great stuff. You got to check it out. Constant laughs over there. But again, thank you all for being here. Tracy, I seen you're here in the house as well. Thank you all again for being here. Now the next thing I have to talk about is I'm sure you guys seen this rumor in the news, and that's Robert Downey Jr. wants Ironheart to be in the MCU. What say you guys about this? What do you guys think about Robert Downey Jr. saying that he thinks Ironheart should be in the MCU? What do you think about that?
Well, I would have to get into some of the leaks for Phase 4 to cover that
topic. We got to save that. We got to save that for the end. But
okay, but
how do you feel about that? Let's just say
it's going to be pretty crowded for mechanized superheroes. Let's leave it there.
Wow. So that sounds like a confirmation of Ironheart. But
if they can fit him in there, because of course, and this is all going to be released after Spider-Man: Far From Home at the Comic-Con. They're going to take up Hall H and they're going to do the roster like they did several years ago. Where they'll say this movie.
Well, I guess that kind of seems like something not too out of the ordinary that they do there.
Let's go on to Ironheart. Yeah. Yes, Ironheart's cool. I'm not familiar with Ironheart, actually. Yeah. It's just another person wearing an Iron Man suit. A little bit different, right? Is it the kid?
It's a young girl, and she basically, how would you say, borrowed the parts to make the suit. We'll put it that way. Okay. And she's basically like a little girl Iron Man.
Protege?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Now the thing
Shuri.
is
Maybe Shuri.
as far as this character, I don't read the comic books on this character. I don't really care about this character. They put her in a movie. I might go see it. They put her in her own solo movie. I might not go see it because I'm not that interested in Ironheart. They'd really have to sell me on it. But the one thing I really have to say about this story is because apparently Robert Downey Jr. had said in an interview that he thought it would be great if they brought in Ironheart to basically replace Tony Stark. And I just got to say about that is, Tony Stark, you're done. Robert Downey Jr., we don't care what you think about who should be in the MCU.
Settle down. I care.
Don't care.
I care.
Done. You're done.
I care.
But I don't care. And the reason I don't care is because it's Ironheart. I don't care about Ironheart. Bring in some good characters.
Right, I don't care.
Bring in some good characters that we want to see.
Like I said.
Is there anybody else out there who wants to see Ironheart? If you're out there and you want to see Ironheart, and I don't care if you do, I mean, that's fine. Me personally, I don't want to see Ironheart. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments. I mean, if we're going to bring Ironheart in, I mean, why don't we go... You know what? Why don't we just bring in Squirrel Girl at the same time? Maybe Gwenpool. Right?
They already have Howard the Duck, so the sky's the limit.
You know what's funny is after that asshole came out at me last weekend, this Cosmic Warmful, he's like, oh, I don't even, I'm just mad because War Stu came at me and just calling me clickbait. I was just defending myself. And then he says, I don't make clickbait. And then the very next day he releases a video called Spider-Man UK in Spider-Man Far From Home. Yeah, I don't do clickbait.
I don't spend as much time on YouTube anymore, thankfully. I'm so busy, but I do scroll through and I see the titles, and I did remember seeing that. I go, okay,
yeah.
not gonna get me, buddy.
Come on, dude.
He's like, yeah, that's a lot like. Are you familiar with Mike Zero?
Nah. He pisses people off, doesn't he?
What we are learning about Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, like every time, instead of just saying, he does it all the time, and
repeating himself,
and he speaks of
that's
out here on YouTube, and so
like he pisses people off for one, I guess. That's just what I clicked on his channel, I subscribed. I was like, I'll wait till he uploads his next video and see what's going on, and then like I'm telling you, within the course of the day, I had like 4 or 5 new videos, like right in a row. I'm like, why didn't you just make one video? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you just make one video, man? I don't know. And this Spider-Man thing. What is going on here?
Jesus Jonah, right? That's what it stands for?
I don't know, man. Probably Jar Jar. It's Jar Jar Abrams.
Yes.
Jar Jar Abrams.
Yeah. I never heard that before.
They're doing this new Spider-Man series, and like I said, at this point, I'm not even. I don't know. It's just enough. And then I'm just supposed to want to go buy it because it's J.J. Abrams and it's Brady's son. Like, who's his son? What am I supposed to care about his son?
I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, you're gonna go buy a comic book for once in your life?
Yeah, for once.
Yes.
Well, I don't buy a whole lot of comics. I generally just do the limited series if it's something that sounds kind of interesting. So that might be something for me to get because it's too much to follow.
You see how in denial he sounds?
They do a lot with Batman, and I like the limited series that they do with Batman.
You're in denial, son. He buys comics. Throughout all of these has been the mini-series books that I've read from Marvel. A lot of them have actually been really good. They're only 5 issues. Maybe it's just the fact that, I can write 5 issues and write good story in 5 issues. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Because, like I said, this War of the Realms thing is going on right now. It's a complete mess. And just like some of these other stories I've read, I'm like, oh, man, maybe some of these things shouldn't be ongoing series. And again, this one that him and his son are doing, I'm sure it's probably only going to be like a 4 or 5 issue series. But like, come on, can't we just get a different character? Can't there just be a new book, something new? Are like the indie writers the only people who can come up with a new character, or just something new to write about?
What was the last new Marvel character that wasn't a feminized or other?
That wasn't a tokenized.
When was the last version of another?
When was the last time Marvel Comics came up with a non-token? I don't know. That's a good question.
We need a new superhero. Here's what we're gonna do. Picture this: Spider-Man. Only it's a black kid.
Well, and the other thing is, I mean, like you could say, like Okay, like there's Superior Spider-Man. He's not a tokenized version, but you know what? Again, it's another version of Spider-Man. Another one. Like it's like the same concept. But I'll tell you that the one thing is about the Superior Spider-Man that I like is I love Doc, but I've got to go back and read the previous one. But dude, this just works. It just I don't even know what else to say about it. It works.
Let's see some of these comments here.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and get into some of the comments here. Let's see. While I'm here, do you think the Marvel's Ragman for the late 70s will ever be developed for the big screen? You know what? I doubt it. I doubt it. And if they do, they're probably going to change them into, I don't even want to say the word here. I might get demonetized.
What was Ragman? I don't even remember that one.
Like you either know or you don't.
I guess I don't.
Okay. We got thought Cube was gonna be up in his house, up in his biatch. Yeah, he's here. He's there.
I don't know, dude. Every time.
You know what? Actually, you know what? We've got the perfect person here to ask. If I think Nick Fury and Maria Hill are cool, I think it's certainly possible, but we can hear from the man himself.
No, they're androids.
Ooh, they are LMDs. Confirmed right here on the 2nd Street Marvel. All right, now the next one we got here, Fatal J, what's your small business? There is a link down in the description that you can go to that tells more about it. It is the Peanut Peddler. You can go check it out there. It's the Mountain Man Nut and Fruit Company. I am a distributor for the Mountain Man Nut and Fruit Company. So yes, please feel free to go and check out that link. It is got like all kinds of different snacks that you can have shipped directly to your door. Now, Kingship says fucking tank top, yeah? Gotta show off them guns, son. Who is your favorite artist? As far as, like, comic book artist or just artist altogether? Who's your favorite artist?
Well, comic book artist, and because I don't have a whole lot to go off of, I do know that I liked Todd McFarlane because of the Spawn series that I got the first maybe 100 issues of or so. I've always liked his style. Frank Miller, of course, is probably...
No, that's everybody. You're just naming the ones that everybody likes, man.
No. Frank, I buy everything.
Everybody does Frank Miller. Everybody.
Okay, well,
you might as well have just said my favorite character is Spider-Man.
I don't like that Liefeld guy who made like the legs and arms out of proportion and the small tiny heads.
Oh, the guy who does the Major X? The guy who invented Deadpool?
Yeah.
No, you know
Rob Liefeld. Yeah.
I was gonna say, actually, one of my favorite artists lately. I just got back into reading comic books like about just a little over a year ago. But I'll tell you, reading,
looking at the pictures.
One of my favorites is Ryan Otley, man. He does this Amazing Spider-Man series. He hasn't been on it the whole time since they restarted back at the series at issue 1 last year. But he has he just returned on this issue. But look at that cover. I mean the cover. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful art. You get in here and see like how he draws Spider-Man. Like to me, like let me see if I can find a really great one. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Like that. I think I even showed this the other week. Like, look at that. I mean, that's just absolutely great. I love the way that art is done. Now, because if you've seen like what was going on throughout the Hunted, as much as I do him. Now, the other one I'll say that like I've been talking about here on the show. I've been recently getting into some more indie comics. And I'll have to see who it is who is doing the art on this book. But let's see, the artist here in this book. The artist is Neil Edwards and Jeremy Rapak. But it's Neon Future. This issue right here, it's an indie book, and the just the art. I haven't got a chance to read this issue, but the art they got going on in this book is absolutely great. And like I said, it's small, small press. It's super indie comic. This is the only thing they do, but like. I like, and you can't. Believe me, my live streaming camera here isn't going to do that. Do this thing justice, but the art in this book has been really good. But as far as favorite artists, I can't say like that. I mean that I know like a whole lot of them out there, particularly that I could just point out. But if it's recent ones, I would say Ryan Otley.
I had to Google just to make sure. I didn't want to mess up the name, but Keith Giffen. I'm not sure if he's doing anything anymore.
Keith Giffen?
Yeah. He's he did a lot of Lobo stuff.
Oh, okay,
And
Lobo.
He was on the Image Comics when it was brand new. He did something called Trencher. Very detailed artwork.
All right.
Different style you can see.
Yeah.
This was a cover of his. In case you're unfamiliar with.
I'll probably put that on there. The camera's right there.
There you go. Yeah, that's an example of his art. So he's worth looking into. I actually want to look into see if he has anything recent coming out, but I don't think that he's done anything in a while.
Yeah. And that's something I probably need to get into a little bit more as somebody who's, like I said, recently getting back into reading comic books again, is getting into really familiarize myself with more of like the artists and the writers and things like that. Because if you know me, the way, like I love movies, I love music, and recently I just really started loving comic books again. And when it comes to those kinds of things, like when I'm thinking about a good movie that I want to go watch, I'm not looking for just an actor. I mean, there are some movies where you could just see a preview and you see the actor and you're like, oh, okay, like I'll go see it based on that actor. But a lot of times for me, and for a long time, I've looked at one thing, like a couple of huge things, and one of those is director. Who's directing this thing? And also who wrote this thing? Who's the director, who's the writer, and sometimes, in some cases, who's the producer. Sometimes the producer can make a huge difference on a movie, and that's something that we're going to touch on here in just a minute.
Avoid Kathleen Kennedy.
I look at who's producing this stuff. Like the actors are really only there doing a job, because I've actually seen movies that were like they were total shit, but you can see the actors still did a good job. They did what they were supposed to do and still delivered a good performance. It just so happens the movie sucks. Okay, and that's
you can only do your own part. You can only do what you can do. You can't do what you can't do. You can only do what you can do.
Yeah, right. The actor only means so much. So some movies, yeah, if it's some certain actors, I'm gonna go see it regardless. But sometimes like I'll see who they're working with maybe and be like, ooh, Tim Burton, ooh.
I'll probably see everything Robert Downey Jr. ever does. It'd be hard for me to imagine him being in a shitty movie or doing a shitty job.
Yeah. His movies for the most part are all pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen The Judge?
Of course. Who hasn't seen The Judge? Have you guys seen The Judge? It's a great movie.
He just found out about it.
With Robert Duvall?
Yeah.
The reason I forgot about it is because, to me, I don't even think about that as a Robert Downey Jr. movie. I look at it as a Robert Duvall movie.
I just have to sort of disagree with you right there.
Ooh, he just has to disagree with me because he knows I'm right. No. I got him on that one. I got him.
It's a joint. They're meeting in the middle.
Yeah. But ultimately, like I'm saying,
they do have about the same amount of screen time, I think, and I think he is the Robert Downey Jr.'s character is the protagonist in it.
Yeah,
it's from his point of view. But like as far as screen time, they're pretty much neck and neck.
Yeah. Less Than Zero. Man, I haven't seen that movie in years, man. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Another one that it seems like a lot of people don't really like. Chances Are. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Chances Are, but it was one I really liked.
Trying to one up me. No, I haven't seen it. Okay.
Ooh, dang, got him. Woo!
Two Girls and a Guy.
Oh, good one. Love that movie.
Yeah, because that showcases not only is he a great actor, and it's there's a lot of long shots where he's holding it, and there's that shot where they do this pan around and follow him around. He goes up to a piano and nails it, and then continues with the scene with whatever the song is. So he's got not just a great actor, he's also a great singer. He was actually in, I didn't watch the series, some Ally McBeal. Mm-hmm. Did you see that? And
no, I didn't see it, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, I've seen some performances of him where he does some Sting or Police songs, and man, I like him better than Sting.
Yeah, he's certainly a talented guy. I mean, like at the beginning of Avengers Endgame, shit, man, he brought it, dude. Like that whole like opening thing, like with him and Cap, and just like, dude, that was just like, it was an Oscar-worthy performance. But he's not gonna get nominated for that stuff. Trust me. End of the year's gonna get here when everybody starts making their little Oscar runs there at the when do they do that? Like right there in November.
Melanin, I think.
Yeah.
Oh no, November, is it the other way December? Around? Are we complaining about people being too dark or too white?
Let me see. Know. What day of the week is it?
Yeah.
What day of the week is it? I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, really, you got to kind of look, and that's something I need to do more with my comics is look at who's actually like writing them and being the artist in them. Because sometimes you might want to follow a particular artist, you like their art, and sometimes you want to follow a particular writer because you like the writing that they do. For instance, like I was just talking about Leah Williams there. I know, like if I see something written by her, if it's something I want to read and I hear the title, I'm like, yay! I see her writing, I'll be like, oh, maybe I'll give issue 1 a chance. Maybe.
Don't know what he's talking about.
Badly written comic books. Okay, so moving on, what do we got? Who's your favorite? I have an Iron Fist number 14 with the first appearance of Sabretooth. Any takers? Never graded, but been taken care of for decades. Bagged and backed. Starting bid right here, $500. $500 sold. To somebody.
Yen.
Somebody wants it.
500 yen. I got you.
Okay, Fatal says, how much would it cost to get your comics graded? I don't know how much that costs at all. Electric Company Spider-Man rules. No, nobody knows who you are, right?
I love
Spider-Man.
That one. Yeah. He would just do the thought bubbles or the
the old school Spider-Man. Hell yeah.
Except the webs sucked in that one. You remember that? The webs like sucked. They like looked like you could obviously just rip right through them. It's like that. The whole point of his webs was they were supposed to be strong material that could entrap people. But anyway. It was a kids thing.
It works.
It was for kids.
Oh, well, I think Rich wins the shirt. You know what? I'm gonna give you that one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you that one. I'll give it up to that Queens of the Stone Age one.
Oh, it's a good one.
I'll give it up to that Queens of the Stone Age. You got me there. You got me.
Believe me.
You got me. You got me. Okay. Spidey is gone. Sony is taking him and running. They should. You know, at this point, they should. I don't know. I mean.
No,
it's best that they continue to play ball.
They need the help from the Marvel and the cinematic and all the backup that's going on there. They don't want to. It would be an incredible risk for him to just rip him out of the.
Well, here's the one thing
I think. How are they going to write it out where all of a sudden, now there are just movies with him, the same character, except he's never going to have any. Interactions with.
To me, I think. Well, the thing is, I mean, they made 3 films perfectly fine with that. You know what I mean? Actually, 5 films. Okay, maybe like 3.5 films. We'll go 3.5 films. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, you're counting those?
Part 3,
those
part
two,
of the other one.
Yeah,
we'll count them as a half. We can count those as a half.
I mean, it's still Sam Raimi. Don't get me wrong. It was good based on that because even if the writing is kind of too crammed, there's too much.
On
going
part 3,
it was still him. It was still him setting up the shots and his style, and I will watch every movie he makes.
And
getting back to it, that's one.
I'm saying another part of that actually too. Again, something that you guys should be paying attention to. Artists, writers, producers, things like that is actually Spider-Man 2 and 3 were actually the camera.
Oh wait a minute, we're telling people what to do now? Okay.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2 and 3, actually the cameraman was Bill Pope, who has actually collaborated with Sam Raimi a number of times. And actually, I believe he was the cameraman for the Matrix movies as well. So, I mean, that dude knows how to frame shots. He knows how to shoot movies. And then you slap him with, Sam Raimi, who I believe he's worked with. I think he did The Evil Dead 2, maybe? Or maybe it was just the Army of Darkness.
Are you talking
He'd done
about
another one of those. Yeah, Bill Pope.
Bill Pope. Oh.
So they work together, and you can see
just
that.
Get
I mean,
on
they've
IMDb.
got, a lot of their.
Yeah.
IMDb. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh. You know, I remember a time when there used to be a thing called fans, and when fans were around, us true fans, we actually knew stuff. We knew things just in our head. We didn't have to go back and look at an IMDb or grab the CD case and look and see who's the singer, who's the drummer. We knew that shit because we were fans. And then people like you come around here with your fancy IMDb thinking you know everything because you can look it up on the internet.
I ever need right here.
Oh my God.
I can use my brain for other stuff.
Oh, man. Your brain is there to remember stuff, man.
Except when there's some sort of an apocalypse, then I'm kind of screwed.
You see, exactly. If you don't know to take them 2 sticks and rub them together or how to do it properly, where's your phone going to get you?
Just watch a YouTube video. Just watch it on YouTube.
You better make sure you have it downloaded. You better have that premium and download it. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Jester Rican says, "What's up?" Fatal J. Everybody saying what's up. Okay, thanks for chatting out the video today. We're gonna have to do a live stream one day and talk Jim Lee. We can, Fatal J. We're going to. Like I said, I was talking to you earlier. I gotta get some things figured out because I wanted to start bringing some more people on the show because I just don't like the Google Hangouts format. I mean, it works and it'll get the job done. I just want to do something that can be a little more nice where we can put graphics up and all kinds of stuff like that. And I know a lot of times that ultimately probably takes money and programs that I probably don't have myself.
Get on Fiverr, dude. Get on Fiverr.
Need to give you a shout out. Apple Pro says someone took offense on Twitter. No way. I know, seriously, man. It's like that's what Twitter is.
There's actually, I think there's two reasons to go on there: to offend people and to be offended.
Right.
So,
but I haven't got the
I'm
offended
not really
part
into
yet.
either one of them. So
I haven't got to the offended part yet, but I've certainly apparently done the offending part. Jeez, I had some people attacking me the other week that were offended for a video that I did. They just obviously seen the title.
And as just speaking of which, King Shifter, I'm here to offend. I have. Not yet.
We don't like. We're reporting you and
Up
your
your
comment,
game,
King Shifter. But yeah, I mean, really, and that's kind of how I ended up here on YouTube as well, because I wanted to, I guess, kind of express my opinions more, because you guys see when you're seeing things in text and type and all that stuff, people always take shit wrong, and it's like, you know, there's times like I'll write something like I'm being serious, and somebody like thinks I'm being like facetious or being a smart ass. I'm like, no, I'm being serious, and then, you know, and it's so hard to say because, you know, like I'll just write it, but then like sometimes like you're joking around and you type something and you put LOL or you put a laughy face on there, and you know people like think that you're serious, and it's like, no, like I'm joking. Like maybe I just don't know how the whole emoji thing and like all that works. I don't know.
Well,
so that's kind of how I ended up here, because you can see me in what I'm saying.
The thing is, joking, serious, and they take it this way, they take it that way. People are gonna be in their moods, and they're gonna take it however they want to take it, based on, you know, how intelligent they are, or how intelligent they aren't, and how emotionally stable they are, or how emotionally stable they aren't.
That's true. That's true.
Some people just have a day where they read something and someone's just kidding, and they want to just drill down and have a big debate about it. I've never done that.
Never. Have any of us ever? Never.
No, because everyone agrees with us on politics and religion and science and economics and everything. Always. And comics and music.
And everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's and see, that's something else before we even go on, like, about the offense and everything, people being so offended. You know, like, that's the thing, is like, what's so wrong, like, this whole agreeing to disagree bullshit. Okay? That, and like, you know, you can't just disagree, and what's, you know, like, why is everybody, like, like, everybody just so overreactionary about everything? Like, you can't just dislike something, get it out of your system, and that's it. Like, you gotta stew on it, you gotta keep going over it. Again this week, again next week, you know what, again 3 days from now, and again a month from now.
They didn't play enough sports when they were kids. They don't know good sportsmanship, you know? Even though they're on the other team, we gotta, you know, shake hands at the end of the game.
Yeah. And I guess, you know, like, a
Is
lot
that
of
how you do it?
know,
I didn't play sports.
I wish I could say, like, The Last Jedi is a good example, but that's a bad example because we're getting ready to see Episode 9 getting ready to come out. So of course, it's gonna reinvigorate people who were pissed off about The Last Jedi. So I get that. But
I feel for JJ. You know, since you brought that up, he really has his work cut out for him. Ryan Johnson. Can we cuss on here, man? Ryan Johnson.
But wasn't JJ a producer?
Well, I think he was just he wasn't involved.
They just wrote his name on there.
I think
I think
he got production credit and money because of the fact that he started out that trilogy.
Probably the series.
And he kind of
outlined
it. He kind of did this outline.
His characters.
And Ryan Johnson saw the outline. He goes, "Oh, that's nice." Just like he did when he watched all of the original Star Wars movies and any kind of good movie ever. He just said, "Oh, that's cool that people do it this way, but I'm gonna do it a different way."
That almost sounds like you're saying like when the people were sitting down to write the Captain Marvel movie, and they sat there and they were like this, like,
"Oh, I see. She has these powers.
This is a great book. Let's write this movie."
Crickets.
Okay. Your channel is on my list, 1,000 subs, so stay tuned. All right. Den of Nerds is cool. Yeah, Den of Nerds is good. I like Den of Nerds.
The dude's the guy with the beard. It's just him, right? Or are there other people?
They've got the Den of Nerds gaming channel as well, and they're going to be working on some more stuff coming up.
He's a Star Wars guy though, right? He does mostly
Star Wars. He likes Star Wars. They've been doing a lot of Marvel lately, but he's more of a Star Wars guy. Not necessarily more of a Star Wars guy, but he's a huge Star Wars guy. And there's some cool dudes over there at the Den of Nerds. Definitely a cool channel, and I like the community that they've built over there. It's really cool and laid back for the most part. Like, you don't see people on there just outright being assholes, because, you know, I see that a lot on YouTube too. People just like, I mean, triggered people everywhere. Trigger people everywhere. I don't know. Like, I've been on some of the people's comments where I just leave a comment and people come out and say something. I'm like,
it's just fantasy
what?
entertainment, guys. Don't take it too serious.
I know, right?
Unless they're trying to push some sort of message. That's the only thing that gets me pissed off about it. When it's an obvious, it's because it's not entertainment at that point.
Yeah.
It's hard to make it good when your whole thing is I want to make this point.
Yeah.
Because good art can make a point, but they're trying to beat you over the head with it. Yeah.
My man, Just a Rican in his comic says, be sure to hit the like button. Friends, if you can, please do me all a favor and hit that like button if you are here on the live stream. I'd greatly appreciate it. But I gotta say, you guys have been awesome on hitting the like button and leaving comments a lot lately. I truly do appreciate that. You know, if you guys are other content creators here, you guys know just as much as I do how much that helps the channel grow. Again, I do appreciate it. So yeah, please hit the like button and maybe even leave a comment on one of my previous videos. Go check them out and tell me what you think. I'm going to be bringing some new content to the channel. King Shifter says, oh man, we just jumped again. We just jumped again.
Wow, there are a lot of comments on there.
I see your goofy guest has his face in his phone. Typical millennial. Tracy says, hi, what's up, Tracy? Damn, talking that Twitter full of school. Yeah, he should stand with what he says, stick up for his views, even if they are different. Yeah, I don't know. Just people just being...
Sounds like the dude doesn't have a spine.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you know how it gets on social media. I mean, these people get these big egos, but then they have no self-esteem, and you know, just like the slightest little thing just bursts their bubble, man. It's really sad. Like I was laughing. Like me, it'd be hard to upset me. Like you would actually probably have to personally know me to get me upset with something you say.
This guy. That's all right.
Aggressively relaxing. My channel is 100% being an asshole. No way! You gotta get. If that's the case, you guys gotta go check this asshole out because I love aggressively relaxing and their channel. Great content, man. I'm telling you. Fatal J says, "Things just ran. Yikes!" Robbie Downey Jr.'s on that SJW stuff.
He doesn't try to interject it in the movies that much.
I mean, and you know, it
just think of how bad it could have been.
Yeah. He's not. How
many Marvel movies was he in? Like 10 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and there was nothing interjected in there about whatever.
Yeah,
Mamby-pamby.
And to me, I think the thing is with him saying that, I think he probably just don't even know really who the character is so much and really even care. He's probably just saying, giving him ideas like, hey, do this. But, you know, honestly, I think Ironheart probably is going to come into the MCU, but probably just through the... streaming series. I think that's where a lot of the younger Avengers are going to come in at, possibly until the future.
Oh yeah, okay,
I think so.
Is that what you think? Okay,
I think so. They'll probably introduce.
We'll get into that.
Oh, okay, all right. Aggressive reaction. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, no, seriously. You have a legit channel, man. I like the content you do. Fuck, who ain't? Aggressively, I'm gonna go check out your channel. Fatal J, you should. I'm telling you, go through and just listen to some of them. It's like listening to the radio. They're presenting stories that happened in the comics throughout the week. It's great stuff. It's seriously like that channel and another channel that I follow too, Comic Talk. These two dudes actually gave me some ideas of stuff that I want to do in some of my videos. Like, kind of made me want to step up my game when talking about some of the comic books or reviewing them. Alpha Proto says, all new, all different is the way in to the MCU. Yes. But you said all new, all different. Yeah, because, well, I mean, we even seen in Logan, they already brought in Laura, and that was, she was all new, all different Wolverine. So, I mean, essentially, it's already here. I mean, the Fox universe is dead, but yeah, no, I mean, they are, and it's sad. It's sad. I mean, and the sad thing is, like, I get it. I mean, these companies, be it Marvel Comics or even Marvel Studios, Disney, these companies, they've got stockholders. Their obligation is to make more money for their investors. Bottom line,
yeah.
And part of that includes appealing to a wide audience and trying to get as many people into their franchises and stuff as possible. And unfortunately, that comes at the cost of brushing some certain things aside and not caring about it, and therefore getting
go middle of the road on something because they're over overanalyzing stuff. Oh well, we don't want
Right.
to. We've got to walk this line here. We don't want to, piss these people off over here.
They
or
lose
stuff
it-
over there.
they're losing their
they
fan
end up-
base.
and they end up being like that. Who's that guy? The Cosmic Wonder with no spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they're turning away fans that built them, fans that have been there forever and made them successful, to replace. Not even that, because the intention isn't they want to
We're
replace
talking
them
about
with
Brie
the new
Larson,
fans.
right? and
The thing is, they don't want to replace them with the new fans. They want to bring
or
them
Kathleen
in.
Kennedy.
I don't know. But they want to bring in new fans, but they're pushing away the old fans at the same time.
That is actually exactly what Star Wars is.
I don't think they're trying to do it. I just think that's what happened. And unfortunately,
They're just dipshits.
they have no clue. They have no clue how to change it. They have no clue how to change it because now they've got some new people into it that they want to try to keep pleased, and they want to please you, but they can't do it because they're too busy listening to these people and trying to do the right thing and thinking about, oh, what are people going to think? We'll just hire James Gunn back. Nobody remembers now. Nobody remembers now. The thing is, people do, and that's the big thing is like they're trying to bring in the new ones and pushing the other ones aside. They didn't mean to, but it happened, and unfortunately, I mean, there really is no. They don't know how to bring it back. They don't know how to bring it back. They don't know how to reel it back in.
We get into that. We're going to get into that later when we talk about that stuff.
That girl from Lost in Space reboot would be great for Riri. The girl from the Lost in Space reboot. Oh man,
Haven't seen it.
that's the one with Matt LeBlanc. Is that the one with Matt
LeBlanc?
LeBlanc?
It's LeBlanc.
I don't know.
It's Mate LeBlanc.
But I'm not for sure. Unless there's another Lost in Space reboot. But I can't remember who that was in that movie. Alpha Proto says Tony Stark AI on the way.
I think so.
I believe that.
So.
Yeah, I believe that. I totally believe that.
It'll be an easy check for Robert Downey Jr. It'll boost their sales a little bit because they'll know that he's going to be in there. And they can be just little bit parts. It'll basically be like a voice acting type of thing. You won't have to really go on set and because it's gonna. I would imagine. I would imagine that's what it'd be.
And plus, something like I talked about before anyway was the fact
that the Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right. Well, like the fact I talked about last week, maybe the week before, also was the fact that we didn't actually see Tony Stark die, but I'm sure he's dead. I'm not saying that he's not. But the thing is he could be living in an AI because in the comic books, and we all know that Marvel don't read the comic books, so I'm not saying that, but in the comic books, during the Civil War II arc, he ended up basically falling into a coma, and he was alive through an AI, and the AI was running the suit and all that stuff, and was basically Tony Stark. So, but obviously Alpha Proto knows exactly what I'm talking about there. So. I guess I'm preaching to the choir here in that one. Yeah. We need a Moon Knight movie. We do. I'm not sure. I seen on YouTube somebody did a little short Moon Knight thing. I think it was 18 minutes long. It was pretty well done. I think the suit was a little, but the whole premise and everything they did, I thought was a pretty cool little film that I've seen somebody did here on YouTube. You should look that up. Aren't they making a Great Lakes Avengers show?
I don't. I just read that. What the hell is that?
What's that? Why
don't you?
I don't know what a Great Lakes.
Yeah. Send a link, or it didn't happen. All right.
Yeah. I don't know, but you know what? Honestly, I mean, it's hard to say what the hell they're going to do. Being in DC Lobo to the MCU, and then we'll talk. Bring in DC Lobo to the MCU. Yeah. We're gonna do a crossover. That works. Hey, honestly, DC might need some help, but
they did that. Actually, one of the coolest interviews I saw with Stan Lee was in the 90s. He was on a talk show, and they did this crossover between DC and Marvel, and Stan Lee was kind of hyping it up to whoever it was, not Jimmy Kimmel, but whoever it was. Maybe it was Conan O'Brien. But anyway, he would say, so it's going to be the marvelous Marvel heroes versus the DC guys. He was such a great promoter. I love that guy.
Fatal says Marvel already has a Lobo. His name is Wolverine. Ooh.
Yeah. No.
Please.
No.
Okay.
No.
This guy has the inside scoop on Phase 4. He does. He is Phase 4. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's just hope the book is good, or wait for the trade. Yeah, I'm gonna hope the book is good. I'll probably pick up issue 1 regardless, see how it is, and go from there. Of course, we all know that issue number 1s a lot of times are usually pretty good and suck you into the sucky number 2.
Yeah, then they go with the cheap ink after that.
There are way too many Spider-Man comic books. Yeah, there are right now. There's just too many. Comics aren't an investment anymore, and that's what a lot of people say too. I think there's some that will go up in value. You know what? Actually, I actually just seen the other day the issue number 6 of the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was actually on sale at my local comic book shop for $10, $9.99. And it's like I paid $3.99 for it when it came out. It's at $10.
When did it come out?
4 weeks ago, a month ago.
Uh-huh.
No. Yeah, maybe about a month ago.
Yeah.
And it's at $10. And you know, sometimes it goes up and it goes
They're
down.
doing all these multiple cover.
Well, this
shenanigans again.
This one was just like the regular cover, and I don't know that there was multiple covers on it, but it's what happened in the story and the character that's in it that really did it. And I'm telling you that actually number 6 issue, I know why it went up in value, but if it's actually really worth that, I don't know. It's just hard to say like how much any of them are going to hold value. Like I would be more. These days I would be more thinking that something like a Neon Future, this indie book, is probably going to hold more value than a Marvel book. Just because, if anything, it's more rare.
Yeah, it just depends on what happens with it. It's got to get some sort of man for some reason. Mm-hmm. Later on, oh yeah, that's cool, and then they don't have, they only have so many issues out. I mean, that's supply and demand, basic economics, man. Come on.
Let's see. Face Phone.
By the way, I have very important deals I am conducting with South America while I'm doing this, so that's why I just can't break away from it. $1 million deals right now. So that's why. Alpha
Pro says, if you want to read a comic, you can. They are not hard to find anymore. The 90s had a lot of new characters when it came to X-Men characters. Yeah, I think the 90s, probably like the late 80s and 90s, they started kind of adding in more kind of like smaller characters and stuff like that in a lot of the comic books, it seems like. Actually, on a few Ragman comics, it was a thing. He was made out of patches of rags sewn together.
Slapstick. That's the guy I was thinking of. Slapstick. They need to bring back Slapstick. That was from the early 90s. That was just...
Slapstick?
As ridiculous as you think it is probably worse. I had a couple issues of it. I probably made it through about 10 issues. But he was of course
slapstick.
He was of course involved in the Infinity crossover that was going on at the time. Somehow.
Nick cut his sandwich across in the Age of Ultron, and Captain Marvel, he said he hates that. God, you know what? I seen a video. Mm-hmm. I seen a video where somebody went and man, they really dug into it and debunked that. I think it was New Rockstars. They did a video on that. Somebody did a video on that. But you know what? Nick Fury's probably he's an LMD anyway. He confirmed it. He confirmed it. Get a guilty pleasure reading Rob Liefeld comics. You know, honestly, that Major X, it's been pretty good. Though I hope the story hurries up and finishes going somewhere. We got the last issue. Oh, Major X, he is the new non-token original character. I gotta
say, yeah, Cable, the Cable from it was cool, but it was just like so out of proportion. But I really liked Cable, the way he was presented and the character that it was and all that. And I hope they do another Josh Brolin Cable appearance in the Fox/Marvel.
That would be pretty universe. Cool. That'd be pretty cool. Let's see what else. His art is so bad. Yeah, he's got some. Rob Liefeld, he does have some nice art. I like it. Lord Callus, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here.
I can't believe King Shifter was like, what?
I was like, damn. Fatal J bows. The Sith Lord Callus is in the chat. Yeah, and if you guys haven't been to Lord Callus's channel too, you guys should go check him out. He does some cool Star Wars videos. Love his little voiceovers that he does, because like I said, a lot of times I'm not really into like the voiceover videos, because people you gotta really, when you're doing voiceovers, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring some personality. Or do a voice or do some characters, something like that to keep somebody's attention. And he does that. He does just that. He does a good job. I don't know. Some people just have it, and some people don't.
Did the check clear?
The check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we should be talking about something there.
Yeah. Okay. So strange seeing black costume Spider-Man shoot his webs from his wrist and not the top of his fist. God, what was it? Oh yeah. Well, just like you see, like you see in the symbiote Spider-Man. Yeah, how the webs come out of the top of his hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, instead of his wrists. And God, yeah, which one is it? I can't remember what book you're talking about.
He should just have a web cannon. Really, he should really just have a web cannon. I did notice that. Because he wouldn't run out of web fluid. You need to have a lot more room.
Let's see. Looks great. Kingship says Robert Downey Jr. got tattooed. ST tattoo. Jason Brown, same guy that did my Nux, did his
Nice.
ankle tat. Oh, really? Got an ST tat, huh? Nice. Cool. All right. You know, I take back every bad thing. Did I say anything bad about Robert Downey Jr.?
Other than he was a liberal.
I didn't say he was a liberal.
And you could take him on a fight.
I only just said. I think the only thing I said is who cares what he thinks about the MCU and the characters. I think.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Robert Downey Jr. I didn't mean to. I'm just kidding. He's all right. He's an all right
actor,
guy.
though. He's not the creative force behind it, so that kind of makes sense. Like, really, what does it really matter?
Fatal says Evil Dead 2 scared me as a kid. You know what? Like, it's a work of art. It is. I mean, because it's. You know, it's almost cheesy, but like some of the cheesiness in it is what makes it so good.
What year did that come out?
I'm not for sure. You're the one with IMDb open right there in front of your face. You're gonna make me look at it on live TV?
Yeah, because I think it was kind of racy at the time for me. Like, so much has been done since then, but it was like I think the first one where it was like, oh, we're that I saw. Well,
Evil Dead was Evil Dead 2 was 87.
Yeah.
The original one was 81.
Yeah, so I was pretty young. And when I saw that, I was a horror fan, of course. But that was like the only movie that I had seen at that time that was directly about like raising spirits from the dead and that kind of stuff. Like they were doing it, you know. They were actually like, oh, we're reading the book. Well, it was an accident, wasn't it? They accidentally read the.
Yeah.
Or
the recorder. Didn't the recorder came on. They had the recorder on that was downstairs.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and it brought it back up.
Actually, there was one before. There were a few before that, but they were a lot cheesier. And that was The Wraith. And
The Wraith was great.
And what was that rock and roll one that Fastway did the soundtrack for? Was it Halloween? No, it wasn't Halloween. It wasn't Halloween, but it.
Halloween?
No, Ozzy had a bit part in it. Damn.
I don't know, man.
Trick or Treat. Yeah,
oh, okay.
It was a Halloween theme. Trick or Treat. Yeah, that one was like that. Sammy Kerr was a possessed by Satan or whatever, a rock star that came back into life. And, anyway.
But yeah, no, I could easily see like when you were a kid, Evil Dead 2 scaring you. Oh yeah, I could totally see that.
If you're a wimp.
Proto says, I don't know about comic Captain Marvel, but the MCU one made me angry. What kind of person kills their teammates of 6 years after one conversation with the enemy? Reminds me of ISIS sympathizers in real life. Yeah, no, I mean,
teammates
yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Oh, I was thinking of the in-game. Yeah, exactly. She'd been side by side with him for how many years, and she's like, "Oh, so you actually have a family? Well, we better kill my teammates." Yeah, that is pretty messed up.
Yeah, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you.
I mean, she really pulled it.
I feel so bad for you. I'm gonna kill my old teammates.
I
had never thought of that, man, but that is pretty funny, man.
She John McCain pretty hard on that one.
Honestly, that's kind of like what happened in this Giant Man book that I'm talking about. Is they're on this mission to kill Ymir, who's building this army. I mean, sure, it was against his will. They had him enslaved, but like he's building the army. Who's to say he's not going to be pissed off later and come back out after you? It's not this. Obviously, this person's notorious for doing this stuff.
Could you imagine, say, in The Empire Strikes Back?
It's like Yondu.
Luke has a little conversation with Darth Vader, and Darth Vader says, "Hey, you know what? Actually, I'm trying to make a family here. We're just trying to find a place to live." And Luke goes, "Okay, let's kill Han Solo." You know, it's like,
right?
Yeah.
Well, and and the thing is like, and that's just something else. Just like you guys have probably heard me talk about this, and I'm gonna bring this up when I do my ranking list for the MCU movies, which I haven't really done, but I have them all ranked. But a lot of people will be upset with my list because you know what, Guardians of the Galaxy, they're near the bottom. You know why? Yondu. Come on, man. In a movie, you're gonna. In the course of one movie, you're going to completely let Yondu, a notorious child trafficker, off the hook for one good deed? Seriously? And you see everybody like Peter Quill's got Stockholm syndrome with this fool like crazy dude kidnapped him from his parents, and this fool's in love with him and freaking calling him his dad.
But see, okay, here's the thing with that though, and
Come on, man.
Okay, point taken. But here's the thing with that: he kidnapped him. and he was going to turn him into Ego, right? And he had been kidnapping kids before. With Peter Quill is when he had the change of heart and he said, you know what? I'm not going to turn into Ego. I'm going to try to make good on this. But he was such a flawed, piece of shit.
Yeah. After how many kids, though?
That took years and years. I know.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, dude. Hey. Did you see how many skeletons were down there? Like, Jesus, like that.
Well, a guy like Ego doesn't just have one supplier. You know what I'm saying? He's got shit all over the place.
Well, I'm just saying, though. I'm like, this fool went into, like, abducted that many kids and one good deed lets, like, everybody's fucking crying and he's a good guy now? It's ridiculous.
He wasn't really a good guy in the first Guardians. I mean, it took until for him to sacrifice himself.
You know what? Rocky Balboa even said that he was out. That, they didn't take pleasure in exiling him from the Ravagers, but he did what he had to do. And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, he did one good thing. Oh man. Okay, let's go shoot off some fireworks for him."
Is this your first movie? I mean, isn't that the plot to like half the movies in the world?
Okay. Dang it.
Oh, the Grinch. The first one that comes to mind.
No way you could do an Ironheart armor on a streaming service. TV budget can't handle stuff. At least not well. I would agree there, but it seems like Disney is pretty much going all in.
2 words
on this.
Cartoons.
Well, yeah, they could do it in a cartoon and cross over it into a movie, but yeah. I mean, Disney is obviously going all in on their streaming service, like big budget. So it's hard to. I guess we'll have to see when their streaming service actually gets up. What level is your guest on? Is he keeps looking down, playing Candy Crush? Obviously.
Correction. I'm watching episodes of MASH.
Watching MASH.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that clanger.
Yeah. I like that MASH, man. Coolest Marvel character that doesn't have a movie yet. Which one?
Marvel character. That's a good question. I'm actually, yeah. Well, or is it gonna be villain, or what are they gonna make a movie about Doctor Doom? That'd be cool. The Warlock, he's been teased, Adam Warlock. I think he would be a very interesting character, and I think that's the reason why he wasn't in there is because they admitted that there's just so much to him that he needs a full movie. So hopefully that's going to be it, and hopefully that's to get to the next comment what Keanu Reeves is going to be.
Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves will be Robert Downey Jr.'s replacement, not the next Iron Man, but the same star power from Marvel. Yeah, probably so. I mean, that's even if he even comes into the MCU. Just because, suppose, and we obviously, do we even know for sure? I think Kevin Feige recently said something about the Keanu Reeves thing too. But I mean, just because they're in negotiations doesn't even mean it's going to happen. I mean, maybe their schedules don't line up. I mean, a number of things could happen too. So
maybe it'll be a cameo.
Guess until it actually happens, I mean,
one of those cameos
we're kind of left hanging.
Who was it in Deadpool? Invisible Man? Who played Invisible Man?
Oh, yeah, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, maybe it'll be one of those deals.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. Counting on Me by Korn is a good song. Just saying, no pressure. Counting on Me. Which song is that?
Yeah.
Counting on Me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what song that is.
Yeah.
Because I was actually I think I just kind of actually quoted a Korn song. I was nudging at one a little bit earlier. Great point on the Galaxy of the Guardians. Never thought about that. Oh, that's the first thing I thought about. That Yondu.
Yeah.
That dang child trafficker. I'm on to you, you blue piece of shit. You know what's funny is I actually met Michael Rooker at the Renaissance Fair. I think 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
At the Renaissance Fair. Yeah. We're just walking by and I seen him. I was like, oh dude, that's. And I couldn't remember his name, and then I was like, oh, Michael Rooker, and I just walked up to him. I was like, hey, how's it going?
It is a shame that they killed him because I would like to see him in more movies.
Yeah, the character himself. Yeah, he's cool.
Just doing. He's in the background. He's out there doing stuff. He could pop into any of the cosmic movies.
Yeah,
and he's a great actor, and that's a cool character.
Yeah, Michael Rooker's great.
I think a flexible character too. He could because he's one of those sort of Lando kind of guys. He can be a bad guy. He can be a good guy. He can
right.
Whatever you need.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, and yeah. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I still like the Guardians of the Galaxy and all that stuff, and the characters and all that stuff. I'm just saying, aren't I supposed to be outraged? Aren't they supposed to be reactionary?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Guardians of the Galaxy.
We are not pissed off at what we're supposed to be today, and that pisses people off.
I got a bit choked up at the Ravager funeral, to be honest. Oh, you son of a...
Yep. Good.
Off, take a look in the mirror. Don't mind me, though. Oh, man. Okay, I can't play it here live, dang it. Ooh. Because I'll get a content strike, but... I was going to say, I was thinking that it was either off of that, because I was thinking it was off of Untouchables, but I knew it wasn't that. And then I was like, maybe it was off of Issues. And then, okay, take a look in the mirror makes sense.
Okay, you guys can talk about corn.
Yeah, I'm cool. I don't like corn. I never like corn.
No.
I only like it with my peas and my potatoes.
No, I really liked the first album, and I thought they pretty much took a downward turn since then, slowly getting worse and worse and worse.
Basically, what he's saying is he bought the Fieldy album and he was pissed afterward.
Yeah, dude, you don't do that to a fan, man. I mean, I know you like to rap and it's no crap, but come on.
Yondu will be in Captain Marvel 2 along with the young Peter Quill. You know what? I remember hearing the theory that they're at the end of the Captain Marvel movie when they're sitting, or not, I guess not at the end. Is it at the end? When they were sitting there looking up into the sky? Ooh, it was the flashback scene. When she's sitting there looking up into the sky with young Monica Rambeau, and there was like a shooting star. Somebody was saying that actually, and I obviously plenty of people looked into it. It would have happened the same time in the same year that all that happened. So I mean, it could have been them there. So I mean, it's possible that they could. And I remember seeing some other rumors about that, being a possibility. Thor might be in the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Might be. Come on. He was at the very end, man. I think he is. But then,
I think he's going to have to be because of what the threat might be, and they need someone as powerful as Thor. Otherwise. I mean, I don't know. There's been a lot of rumors about what's going to happen, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in it.
I mean,
they need someone like him, I think.
I mean, maybe the threat could be Thanos.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Well,
it could be.
Maybe it could be. Maybe.
I mean, we already seen him jumping through the time stream. You know what I mean?
Actually, there's,
all it takes is a different version of him coming through and saying, you know what? I'm coming here. I'm not here in this other world.
Supposedly, it's the High Evolutionary is going to be the main guy.
High Evolutionary is it?
He created Rocket Raccoon and we're going to get into his backstory.
Corn singing nursery rhymes was their downfall. That was like the first album. Michael Rooker is Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer Above All Else. That's his legal name.
Oh, was that?
I never seen that one. I haven't
seen it.
But yeah, I won't doubt it because Michael Rooker's great.
We're in trouble because we didn't see it.
Right? Tear me up. Give this video a dislike because we haven't seen the Portrait of a Serial Killer.
What are our thoughts on Adam Warlock being played? Isn't Zac Efron kind of a effeminate little needle-armed
you
goofball dancer singer?
No, you're probably thinking of somebody else. He was he played in Baywatch with The Rock, and no, he's pretty yoked up, man. Like like some people were talking about him possibly coming in to be like rumors at one point about him coming in to be Wolverine. I'm like, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, he's a little on the edge of tall. But like he stays in good shape. I mean, all he'd have to do is pack on some a little bit of muscle.
What?
I can't think.
Yeah, I guess we gotta get on Netflix and watch that one.
Okay.
So we've not covered.
Okay, so this was another main topic that we had for today. I'm sure you guys seen this. This new thing that was a lot of people. I've seen a lot of people doing videos and talking about this week, and that's Brie Larson apparently was at the MTV Music Awards or Movie Awards, the MTV Movie Awards, and she got some award for the stunts, and she brought the stunt women up on stage, and they had some stuff to say.
She does her own stunts.
Yeah, she had some stuff to say. They had some stuff to say. They kind of sat there and Dutch ruddered each other, and and a lot of people came onto YouTube and did a lot of videos about it, and I'm just sitting here like, who the fuck watches MTV?
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck cares about Brie Larson? And what she's saying in an award ceremony.
Stop feeding this woman any kind of energy.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
Hopefully she'll just fade away.
What are you assholes watching MTV for? Did you just see it through an article that you read somewhere on Screen Rant? Or We Got This Covered? Fuck these websites, man. I don't know, man. Like, who watches MTV? And the other
not
thing
everyone
is, like,
could be Second Street Marvel.
But
Come on.
But the other thing is who fucking Brie Larson? If you already hate Brie Larson, what are you even paying attention to her for? Okay, now the next thing.
What's the what's that magazine that did all the star? Like they had the paparazzis going out, and they had that newsroom where they always interview like, oh, we caught this guy.
Oh, TMZ.
TMZ. This is TMZ.
Yeah.
YouTube is really the TMZ for like geeks.
Yeah.
Bunch of stupid, like, oh, this guy did that. And this guy...
Fuck, I'm out of here. Fucking you just called me Harvey Levin, you son of a bitch.
Dude, I was talking about the other ones, not you.
Oh, okay.
What we were just saying, I mean, we're not TMZ.
That's messed up.
I don't even know who Brie Larson is. Personally.
Dang, man. Okay, okay. The next thing we have to have is Shaft. Okay, apparently, I was on some chat boards and seeing people talk about last week. There was like people were talking about the box office and all this stuff, and people talking about this whole get woke, go broke agenda and stuff in the movies and everything. And I seen a lot of people talking about all these movies that were doing piss poor at the theater. Okay, for one, not every movie is a blockbuster. Okay, for one, people. Not every movie's a blockbuster and is made to be a blockbuster, okay? Shaft is definitely not among those movies that is made to be a blockbuster. It's made to be just a fun, entertaining movie put out there. But people were sitting there, like, talking like, oh, yeah, like, it's part of this, like, this agenda and everything, just probably because, it's got dark-skinned people and it's got some black people in it, so they must have an agenda. I mean, haven't you seen Kenya Barris and that show that he writes over there for ABC, Blackish? Oh, my God, it's so agenda-filled. But you know what? It's fucking hilarious. God, dude, it's hilarious. And so then, like, I seen people starting to do some videos and talking about this stuff too, like, ooh, like, Shaft, is getting all these triggered reactions from these SJWs, and, like, everybody's like, I want to go see this movie now. I'm like, dude, pay attention to what's going on. How did anybody think that Shaft was going to go woke, bro? It's just Shaft. Listen to the title of the fucking movie.
Okay.
Shaft.
Yeah, it's blaxploitation. That's what
fucking it was. Shaft. Get the fuck out of here.
Damn right.
And then the other thing is Kenya Barris. Okay, the dude is hilarious. He's a great writer. I'm telling you, go watch the show Blackish. Now, obviously, it's got black people and it's got a black family in there, and but they are a mixed family as well. That's the thing is the show is. Dude, it's hilarious. It's got Anthony Anderson in it. He's the dad. Dude cracks me up, man. The young girl in it who plays the youngest daughter. She's hilarious. I think she was actually like a producer or something. Got a producer credit on some movie that came out a while back that apparently didn't do too good. But it's whatever. She's a little kid. What do you expect? They can't all. Not everybody can write the movie 13. Not everybody can be.
Why was that an example?
13. It was like a 13-year-old girl that was like she didn't write necessarily the story, but it was like about her. She was the one that.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen that movie? Evan Rachel Wood.
No. I thought you were just
Oh like, yeah, no.
Because fans of 13 Ghosts, we just call it 13. So I thought that's what you're talking about.
Oh no, it was just movie 13. But it was a really good movie. But I mean, that show is hilarious, and they even like put stuff in there like, how would you say like. Just some of the topics they talk about is just hilarious. It just cracks me up. So yeah, Shaft again, another great show, another great movie. If you haven't been out to see it, you probably should go see it. I mean, I want to go see it. Now the thing is I don't expect it to be John Singleton's 2000 Shaft, because if you haven't seen the Shaft from 2000, that movie's great. I love that movie. Samuel L. Jackson, obviously Richard Roundtree. God, I can't remember the guy who's in it who plays what's his name, Peoples, where he's all stabbing himself with that ice pick. It's got Christian Bale in it. Toni Collette. I mean,
I remember watching it and afterwards thinking back on it later on, maybe a year later, thinking, yeah, I watched that movie. It just didn't stick with me. Nothing was memorable about it.
I thought it was a good one. It's a good one. Isn't
It
the
didn't
youngest
piss me off. I
daughter
didn't dislike it, but
on
it's kind of like
Blackish
Star Trek 3, like J.J. Abrams' third Star Trek. Like I remember like getting out of the theater, and with my son, we watched it together, and we started driving home, and we just turned to each other and we said, "Well, it was a movie." We watched it. It's like stuff happened, and then it eventually got over with. It was some action and explosions. It's like
Sounds
like,
kind of like a Michael Bay movie.
Oh God. That's every Transformers movie. I don't know why I go back to them.
Right?
Well, I didn't go to Bumblebee, so
I know, and that's the one you probably should have from the sounds of it.
It's going to be something cool, and it's going to be like a cohesive story, because they actually always make it sound like something's kind of cool.
Isn't the youngest?
It's not. It's just a bunch of stupid robots.
Yeah, and explosions.
Oh yeah.
Isn't the youngest daughter on Blackish and Shazam? No, it's a different girl actually. It's definitely a different girl from Blackish that's in Shazam. But both of those actresses are pretty good. Those young ladies that are in those TV shows. It's interesting knowing all the Shaft movies are connected all the way back to the '70s show. That is the one thing I like, and that's the one thing I want to go out and see Shaft for, because I want to see.
Universe?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're not rebooted.
No.
Or soft rebooted.
No.
Or
Shaft is Shaft's son.
Okay.
Shaft got and that's what's going on in this new movie. And yeah, I was gonna say I haven't made it out to see this new Shaft movie, but it's one I've been wanting to get out and see. I've just been so busy with stuff, and there's so many movies on right now that I want to go see and just haven't got to see anyway. But Shaft is definitely amongst those. Want to go see Secret Life of Pets 2. Want to go see Toy Story 4. I know there was something else that was on at the theater. Oh, Avengers Endgame. They're going to release a couple seconds extra footage to get another $15 out of me.
They got to beat Avatar, really. We got to help them. I'm going to go.
I went 4 times opening weekend, man. I don't know.
Trust me.
I don't know if I've got another viewing in me. If they don't bring, you know what? Actually, if they bring it back to an IMAX screen at our local theater, if they bring it back to an IMAX screen with that bonus footage, I might go see it again. But if it's going to be regular, I'll just be like, no, I'll just wait for the video. I'll just wait for the DVD. It's got to be IMAX.
You're forgetting something here. Well, I'll just say this: you'll want to be there.
Ooh,
Inside, dude, you'll want to be there.
Sounds like some confirmation.
Phase 4.
Screen. Wow, I don't know why Screen Man won't just bring you on this show, man. Okay, now the other thing. This is the very last thing that I wanted to talk about for the day, and that was, I'm not sure if you guys seen. Okay, Lucasfilm actually created this new position, this senior vice president. They appointed somebody. They created this position. This person is now the senior vice president over all the things going on at Lucasfilm, and this includes like all the live action stuff. And basically, this young lady, Michelle Rejwan, has been basically put in charge of all this stuff. And basically, everybody is saying she's like the Kevin Feige of the Star Wars universe now. And according to all the reactions I've seen, it looks like the person they put in charge of it was that what's that girl's name? Ana Astacio Cortez or whatever. It seems like it's just like that. They might as well just appointed her.
I've only read her name. I haven't seen any pictures of her or interviews
Motherfuckers are mad about that.
Oh, really?
People are pissed about this young lady.
Because she's like AOC, huh?
Well, no. The way people are reacting to this news is they might as well have put her in there because people are like, what the.
Well,
I don't care.
That's what I was looking up earlier. I wanted to make sure I got the name right. Pablo Hidalgo should be the one on top, in charge of everything, because he's the one who did. He was behind Lucas a lot of what was going on in between the prequel trilogy and the sequel trilogy. He was the one that was doing all this stuff, and not just the Clone Wars. He was like so involved with it. He knows more about all the lore of Star Wars.
He's more involved in it. He's a fan
than anyone else in there. And having Kathleen Kennedy over everything is just a huge mistake. He's the one that should be there. That's why I don't know who she is. Maybe she's qualified, and maybe he's not that kind of guy. Maybe he doesn't have the skill set to do that. But man, he needs to be as high up in the organization and have as much say about what goes on as anyone as he possibly can, without being that. If he can't, if that's not like, hey, maybe he just doesn't want to do that kind of job. Maybe he likes like getting, spending more time with the art department and stuff like that. But the man, he made it a cohesive universe, sort of, so to speak, until Ryan Johnson.
Yeah. And see, to me, the thing that makes me wonder is like, is she gonna be like that? Is she gonna be like that person that in that position over this episode 9 that's getting ready to come out? That's what I want to know. Is she going to be that same level of importance going into this movie, or is it like basically she's
cake's
kind of
already
taking
in the
over
oven.
afterward?
That cake's already in the oven.
But it makes me wonder though, because if they got her in this position, you know, it makes me wonder if maybe they're. I mean, obviously, maybe they're not, because maybe they're just trying to, you know, put somebody in a position that they probably shouldn't be in because of whatever reasons. But maybe they're setting her up to be the fall guy.
Could be.
If shit goes south even further.
I am actually surprised.
You know, because think about it.
Kennedy did not get fired after, well, if not The Last Jedi, after Solo, because so much of what happened was just her say so, giving these people these. Well, for one, giving Rian Johnson free reign, doing whatever the hell he wants. You know, just write the story and it's like a first draft. They shot on a first draft script, which is like
unheard of.
Yeah,
who does that? That's amateur stuff, dude.
Yeah. Dude.
I wouldn't even, dude. I don't shoot stupid videos here in my fucking room.
Lucas
just on the first script.
George Lucas is actually pretty bad about writing some dumb shit, and he didn't even do that.
Right.
Like he did like several drafts over and over and over.
Yeah, the videos I do here, a lot of times I'll write a little script out and I change it as I go.
Right. But then the opposite of that happened for Solo, where they had these guys making the movie, and she in the middle of it goes, "No." It's like, what is it? It's like I think it has to. I think it has to do with if they don't have the sensibilities that she likes. That she's got, like, of course, Rian Johnson. She let him go do whatever he wanted because it was this feminazi general taking over and making the sacrifice instead of Admiral Akbar, who obviously should have been the one doing it, if anyone. You know? Or Leia, even. I mean, hell.
Yeah,
you fucking killed off Han Solo, might as well kill off Princess Leia.
Yeah. My thing is, they create this position, they put this young lady in charge of it all. Obviously, people are upset, and like I said, it just seems like if this thing goes on and fails, like say this movie goes on and fails, if her name is the one that's attached to it, where she's in that, you know, senior vice president overlooking all this stuff, in that position, and this movie fails, okay, for one, I mean, obviously a lot of it's going to fall on her, they're going to point the finger at her, but then the next thing is even if it does bad, and it's not that bad, but it still does bad, the thing is you just set her up for failure. You know what I mean? It's like they almost just put somebody there like, okay, you get to be our scapegoat in case everything goes wrong.
Could be, but I think what she's, I mean, that's not, she's going to be in position for, like, she's going to be in her position for another 3 years, because the next, after episode 9 comes out, the next one's not going to come out for like 3 years. And that's going to be the beginning of a whole different,
but she's like in charge of like the TV shows and all that stuff. She's overseeing all of that stuff, like the TV shows, all the live action stuff.
Well, the Mandalorian is pretty much done for the first season, so that one, that you know, if that does well, she won't get any credit for it. If it sucks, she won't get. Which I think that's the thing that's, of all things going on in Star Wars, that's the thing that I'm the most hopeful for because of the people involved. Favreau. Is he? Wait a minute. Is he the main director? Or did he just shoot an episode?
I think he just shot an episode, and he's a producer of it.
Who's okay?
Favreau.
Favreau.
No, it's Favre. It's Favre.
Yeah.
It's Favre.
The chef. Who else? Tiki.
Alpha Pro says, I'm done with Star Wars. I'll stick with older movies and my memories. Yeah, you know, like, I noticed just, like, ever since, like, this whole Last Jedi stuff and everything, like, and I see how many people out there are upset about all this stuff and everything like this, and I'm like, I thought I liked Star Wars and everything growing up, and I'm like, obviously there's a shitload of people who are way bigger fans than me, because, like, I see this stuff and I'm like, I don't really care that much to be upset about. I'm like, I guess I can forget about Star Wars and not really worry about it. I can just watch what's already come out and, like, not have to worry about it, man. Like, but I get it though. Like, if you're somebody who really loved this property as much as people do, and I mean, next thing you know, your favorite franchise is being shit on. Hey, I get that. I mean, it's probably getting ready to happen to me with Marvel. So
I think some comics said it back in the prequel days that, oh, you know what, these new movies aren't as good as, you know, the original ones. And the dude said, and his comeback was, well, no, dude, you were 7 years old. You didn't have to pay rent. Nothing is as good as it was back then. You didn't have to pay rent.
That's true. That's true. Yeah,
your mom cooked food for you every night.
Paying rent makes everything shittier.
Yeah.
even living in your nice house.
You never can go back. It's never going to be as exciting. It's all just nostalgia, really. Just nostalgia.
I think you're right, though.
So it would be interesting to see what they do with this new trilogy, because it's not going to have any of the same characters. It's just going to be set in that universe at a different time period.
They got to, they probably got to do something.
I think that's the best way to do it. Because then you can't go for the, let's throw in these guys that get their arms chopped off later. Ha ha ha, that'll be funny. The walrus face dude that they had that little thing in Rogue One, and all the little shit they do like that.
Yeah. Now the only thing is now they're gonna go for.
Hey, remember Chewbacca?
When they're bringing in all those like this new stuff, they're gonna be doing more of what they're currently doing anyway, with all the just the propaganda, the agenda-driven bullshit. I mean, it just seems like
I hope
it just seems like an easy in for 'em to just let it all, just open the floodgates at that point. Just like I said. I mean, unfortunately, I feel like I'm probably in the same way. This MCU is going to go in the same direction. I mean,
it is.
But
I guess Marvel went through that whole phase where they were doing all the female characters in the comics, and they tanked. They just didn't sell, and they're like, hey man, we can't do this. We can't do this and stay in business. So they're going to do the same stupid ass mistake with the movies by we were seeing with the Captain Marvel. She didn't ruin Endgame. Endgame was still a great movie, but her parts tainted it. It was that whole. I don't even think we've done a video since Endgame came out together, but the whole part of Robert Downey of Iron Man being saved by her was just horrible. I think you even heard me say that in the movie. I'm like, oh no, because the whole thing was they were stuck on a ship, and the idea was that they set it up to be like he's stranded in space, and you're thinking, okay, they're setting it up for him to figure his way out, but no, it's just why even have that stupid ass scene if he's just gonna be rescued by some ex machina shit.
What I thought was kind of funny is if you think about this, where's something else I've got that's maybe proportionate. Okay, maybe I'll just have to use the turd. Okay, but what I think is funny is you got this big old ship that's flying through space. And you got this little person down here that's carrying it above their head like this, flying as fast as she had to fly to get that ship back to the Earth by the time they ran out of air and food and all that stuff and died from it. But she's flying with it like this, just like this big old ship. And I'm just like, man,
here's the other thing.
I've got a pretty good grip, but man, I think that would kind of hurt a little bit.
Here's the other thing about that. They're really like you have to twist the rules that have been established in the cosmic universe. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy, to get there, we've got to do all these different jumps, and it's so many jumps. You can't just travel. You have to cut through space and go through wormholes and shit like that to get places.
Right.
But here it's just she can just fly back in time. Yeah, that's it's just they had to fit her in the movie somehow, and she had to do something good, I guess. But that was just dumb. I was disappointed. That was 5 minutes in the movie. I was like, nah.
I didn't mind her in the movie because she wasn't in it much.
Yeah, exactly.
She wasn't in it much, so I was
they were wise to not have her in there very much, but it would have been wise to just not even have her in there and not even have a Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, overall, the Captain Marvel movie would have been fine if they at least did what?
What?
Respect the source material.
There you go.
That's all you had to do, and it wouldn't have even been hard for them to do. And all they had to do was make Annette Bening's character not Annette Bening. Guarantee that's all they had to do was make sure that Marvel was who Marvel was supposed to be, and then people probably been like, oh, okay, well, I mean, at least they put Marvel in the movie, but here you just
It's the dumbest origin story too, because it's why did she survive? I think we went over this before, even on this channel. Why would there was no explanation for why that didn't just kill her and totally fucking tear her to pieces? What is it about her? It's because she's a special Mary Sue girl character. She's fucking Anna or Elsa in Frozen. She's just special. She just has these special powers just because she's a girl.
And the thing is,
and Rey, she's just special because she's a girl. She can beat somebody who's been training to fight with lightsabers for 20 fucking years. And with the first time she picks up one, because she's just special, it's just dumb.
Yeah. And the thing is, I mean, if you guys have watched any of my videos, you can go back and watch them. I actually like the Captain Marvel movie. I like it. You know, I don't have any problems with it. I mean, it was a good movie. It's not the greatest movie. I mean, it's certainly not the greatest amongst their movies. But
popping in there.
The thing is I mean, there's so many things about the movie that could have been so much better, or that could have been just done. I mean, just little tweaks that could have made everything right. And maybe, obviously, you know, maybe zipping the lips on your movie's star, and you know, because
that goes a long
she's going to say stuff to outrage people and get people to boycott, not want to go to the movie. Which I think boycotts are ridiculous a lot of times.
Nathan,
but, you know, hey, I get it.
Nathan Butt Game.
Nathan Butt Game.
Nathan Butt Game.
Welcome to the show, Nathan Butt Game.
She supposedly quantum teleports. I hadn't heard that before. And if they would explain that, hey.
Yeah, if they'd explain that.
They don't explain shit about what her powers are or anything. She just all of a sudden finds out at the end of Captain Marvel that she's had them all along because she's a special girl and she can do all this stuff. But if they would explain kind of just fucking a couple
what he says right there, too. Nathan says right there. He was supposed to Iron Man 1 his way out. Exactly.
He
was supposed to design something to get back.
Even in the trailer, they show that scene of them welding shit. Yeah. I assume that took place after he did the message to Pepper Potts. He's about to fall off and he's about to die. And then he goes, I got it.
Right. Exactly. And then they make something.
Yeah. But no, you know.
Yeah. They couldn't just have Captain Marvel just show up to help them. Mm-hmm. No, she had to show up to save them, and then she can help them later.
You know what? I actually would have. It would have made more sense because it just kind of takes you like, okay, how did she know they were there? There are plausible reasons for it because in the post-credit scene, she was there, and Rocket has the tracking for the ship, and that, you know. They expect you to know all this stuff.
No, she probably has quantum awareness.
Yeah, quantum awareness.
Quantum awareness.
Well, she's omnipotent. That's what we're going to find out in Captain Marvel too. She's omnipotent, but they could have just like, she shows up, and then they could have done just a 30-second scene of them going, hey, let's do and I have this power and I can blah 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 blah, and she could get in the ship and help them with it because of her special, something like that. I have this energy that it can boost, because that was the thing. Their batteries ran out, right? That was what it was. They had to weld them together. That's what he explained. We found if we did this, blah blah blah, we can make the batteries last a little bit longer. And she said, come in there, and they could land the ship together, and she could get out of the ship with him instead of her carrying it. Little things like that. They could have
fleshed it out a little more.
Yeah.
Seconds. Yeah. And to me, like, one of the thing that kind of plays into what exactly happened there in what she did in the Avengers Endgame movie was the fact something I was upset about even in the Captain Marvel movie in the first place. Like I said, these little things that they did in the movie that could have just made it that much better. One of the things I actually went off about and was really upset about was at the very end of the movie when she goes there to meet the Supreme Intelligence. She's there, then all of a sudden, they do that little flashback scene of her falling down and getting knocked down, and she's a little girl and she stands up and she gets up again and she rips at things and she defeats the Supreme Intelligence, and she starts kicking everybody's butt, and then all of a sudden she falls out of her ship. She's fallen to the earth. She don't know how to fly. She don't know all these powers. She's fallen to the ground, and all of a sudden she knows how to fly. And she's flying through ships all of a sudden, taking ships down out of the air.
Yeah, there was
what the hell is that?
No sort of,
where's the progression at?
Exactly.
That flashback scene belongs in the beginning of the movie. Progression.
Yeah. I get that's a nice dramatic way for her to learn to fly, but then to go from just not knowing how to fly to flying through ships is like
exactly.
Maybe there are a lot of ships. Maybe she could have the first one she could have said, I'm gonna go to this, and accidentally discovers that I can go through it, and then she goes, that's cool. Yeah. That would be cool. That would be.
Did you watch Shazam?
Yes.
Did Shazam just up and fly?
No.
Was he just falling to the ground? He's like, oh hey, you know what? Look, I'm scared. I can fly. No, he went through. He went through so many trials to even learn how to try to fly, and then it wasn't until his ass was getting ready to die, when he was face to face with the ground. And you know what? Even then, after that, he still didn't really know how to fly. He was still learning. He
was clumsy.
Yeah, he was still clumsy with it. He didn't just start flying through ships.
I think the thing with it is not only that. It's all these Spider-Man, as a kid and everything. It's all sort of a metaphor for puberty and growing up, and you get a little bit taller and a little bit bigger, and you get a little bit clumsy because you don't know how to, you're used to moving your legs a certain way, and we all went through that when we were growing up, and so it made a lot more sense with that movie for that to happen. But they should have done something with her to she's. And that's the thing with all these women characters. That's why they're called the Mary Sue. It's not because they're women. It's because they treat them. They always write them in a stupid way where they're special. That they just have these powers. They just have all these natural abilities that are innate. They don't really have to work for anything. They're just special because they're girls.
Right. I totally get that. And
like guys like Tony. Tony was totally a flawed character. Thor was totally a flawed character. I guess Captain America was too.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as I'm saying, see, and that's the thing is, it just takes good writing. You just need somebody good to write the characters, to write the script. And the best example I can think of for that, somebody who didn't mess it up, were two female writers themselves. And I've talked about this endless amount of time here on my channel, is Jen and Sylvia Soska in their Black Widow series. Go read it. You want to know how to write a strong female character that isn't Mary Sue and just has to shove it in your face every 5 seconds that she's a woman and she's better than you for that? Just because of that? Go read Black Widow series written by Jen and Sylvia Soska.
Black Widow was a great woman character in that.
Jen and Sylvia Soska should be the ones directing the movie.
Scarlet Witch was great. A great woman character.
Yes.
So, I mean... And then I really liked her. I thought she was one of my favorite parts. She was one of my favorite characters in.
And they didn't use her enough
in Infinity War. I thought her and Vision and what they had going on, and even in the previous movies, I really liked. She was an interesting character because of the circumstances, her origins, and the things she went through. Her struggles. She's a great character. So anyone that watches this is, oh, these guys are just misogynistic people. They're afraid of woman power coming. They feel threatened. Bullshit.
Like, no, we just want well-written characters.
Yeah. I just want something realistic that you can relate to. No one cares about someone that you just start the movie with they're just super powerful, and all throughout the movie they're just super powerful and they just defeat everything, no problem.
Yeah.
That's why Superman's like, what's his big deal?
Nathan, let's see. Alpha Proto says, I still hate the traitor stuff in Captain Marvel. Yeah, and I never really thought about that until you pointed that out, and and then thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, that is pretty, like, God, I mean, even Captain America said that in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, in that office with Nick Fury, goes, the army, soldiers are supposed to trust each other. That's what makes it an army. It's not just a bunch of guys with guns.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But if you're a woman with special powers, you can shoot out of your hands. You don't have to follow those rules.
You can just shoot at the person that's training you all your life.
You can just listen to a speech from one enemy one time who has absolutely no incentive for you to switch sides, right? Like he's just telling you the honest truth. He has no incentive.
Nathan McGame says Skrulls are Mexicans and the good guys, but that's hilarious because that's the thing they tried to do in that movie. That parallel they draw,
Well,
with the whole
it was sort
with
of,
the refugees. I was actually thinking like the Middle East, like
right.
I was thinking like the Middle East and all that. The Syrians, or I was thinking like Syria, but
Somalians or whatever, what have you.
But Mexico works too because the same thing, the border, the.
But we're not at war with Mexico.
Concentration camps that we had going.
Concentration camps.
Yeah, did you see that thing recently?
Mexicans can't concentrate.
Recently about that dumbass that's in the Senate or whatever, that girl that said the thing about whatever. Like, really, you're comparing that to concentration camps? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
it's funny because all you have to do to avoid getting put in this concentration camp is just kind of walk the other direction.
Yeah. Like, come on, nobody was in there being executed. Nobody was. Come on, man. People, and that's just I don't even want to get into that because that's how stupidly ridiculous that whole thing was. But yeah, they certainly did try to draw those parallel lines there with the refugee thing, and the whole scrolls, but I still kind of like the way they did it because it was, they just kind of weaved it into the story. It wasn't so on the nose. It wasn't so in your face that they just did it. It was just into the story, and of course, obviously. If you got your eyes open, you did notice that parallel.
I think there was one of those things where they're just like, what kind of story are you doing? It's like, one of this twist things. Is it some sort of intrigue, sort of Jason Bourne type? I can't I can't think of what the sort of the name for that sort of movie is, where it's like, you don't know who's who type of thing.
They're just trying to make you into sympathizers.
They're just throwing kind of a lot of stuff in there. None of it worked out.
There was a rumor in Infinity War that Rocket was supposed to find them. Yeah, and,
He should have.
he should have. I mean, like I said, it was his ship. But the only other thing though about that really though is they didn't actually have that ship for too long before Infinity War. Well, no, I guess they would have got it at the very end. Well, actually, we don't know when they got it.
Yeah,
it would have just happened after the end of Guardians of the Galaxy.
When I watched
2.
Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2, which I hadn't seen it since it came out in theaters, I thought they got that ship at the end. I thought that was the ship that they got at the end of that movie. But no, they're flying around in some clunker piece of shit type of like freighter.
Yeah, like a pod. I think it was the pod that they had inside of it.
So somehow in between that movie and this and Infinity War, they got that.
But I guess there was like 4 years there because Guardians 2 was in 2014, and then Infinity War is like basically like 2018.
8 years later. Oh no.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, man, it's still possible. There was let's see, there's a game based on the movie called Rocket's Great Rescue. Yeah, I heard about that. The rocket thing. I can't remember if that was like a handheld game or something they were doing, or if it was on the on the phones or nothing. But I remember hearing about that. The Rockets, Rocket Raccoons Rescue Rangers or something. I can't remember. They made her so OP that she can't be on an Earthbound team. And for real, they did. And the other thing is like when I was introduced to the character of Captain Marvel, it was during Civil War II, the Civil War II story arc, and she was just annoying as fuck anyway. And like I just didn't really like the character, and that's kind of what they did. I mean, she was just like
I don't think anyone
OP
ever
and
cared
doing some
about
of the stuff.
Even the original one either. I don't think that
Miss Marvel
or no, the original Captain Marvel. I don't think anyone really cared about back. It was like back in the day when was it? It was like back in the 60s, 70s. It was kind of hokey and that kind of shit flew back then. But I don't think since then anyone's cared about it.
Yeah, I know his big thing was that he was like the first died of cancer and everything. I know, like.
Sort of the classic Underoos type of characters that,
Yeah, like I said, I don't really know enough about it, but I mean, they could have at least done a little something to pay some homage to the damn character.
We want
what is he rescuing? Tony Stark? Who? Oh. I wonder if he's talking about my makeshift thing I did earlier with the turd and Brian Urlacher. Even the part at the end with Captain Marvel fighting Thanos seemed like it was for Hulk. Yeah, I mean that whole thing, her fighting him at the end. I was like, come on, man! Like
Hulk was a disappointment in the movie. Him not having that it just seemed that it was set up at the very beginning of Infinity War to the end of Endgame. That's the way it was set up.
Yeah. And
there should have been a payoff there, just like there should have been a payoff for the Hulk and Banner and their whole thing. They started out in Thor Ragnarok, and it's like, oh, they're gonna have this 3-movie arc where it's kind of gonna be his movie and his story, but guess what? The most important and most dramatic part about it, we're just gonna take care of off screen, and you're gonna show him fully. It's
Yeah.
I like the Professor Hulk, and I like Mark Ruffalo a lot.
I wonder if
I think it looked good.
I was thinking, I wonder if we're going to see it in the streaming service, but that seems like an awful lot to take on, like a whole CG character and all that. It seems like a lot to put into a streaming service type of show. But again, they're going all in on that stuff too.
I'm afraid we're not going to have enough time for me to get into Phase 4 tonight.
Probably not.
So, but
Phase 4.
But yeah, just
Miss Marvel was
Worldbreaker
just a D-list character. The things she was famous for was Rogue putting her in a coma. Right, yeah. And yeah, she was. I mean, she was. And that Rogue, really was the big thing, was Rogue taking her powers and all that stuff. Which, like I said, just with that whole Rogue story, I give them a little bit of leeway in the Captain Marvel movie with some things that happened in the story in the movie. I'll give him a little bit of leeway with that, but the only leeway I'll give him is just that stuff has to be done in the second movie to redeem all of it. Because, like I've said before, I like that movie, but the one thing is,
Jedi, right?
Yeah,
there was absolutely no explanation for why Rey was so powerful, and they just doubled down on it by having her defeat.
Well, the thing is,
those guards.
Captain Marvel was supposed to be an origins movie, but we didn't learn anything about her origins, like nothing, like
I
zip.
I think it was enough. But it was just done shittily.
But the thing is they gave you no reason to care about the character.
Well, yeah,
at all. The way you do that is you reveal their past. Who was the family? what was going on in all those scenes where she was getting knocked to the ground and having to get back up.
It was
you got to bring some context to that.
It was boys telling her that girls couldn't do stuff. That's what it was.
It's called grounding the character. Ground the character. Make them likable. You know how they did that with Tony Stark? They made him a regular guy with, flaws, and then he made a suit and he could do some cool shit.
No, because he's banging a lot of waitresses.
Okay.
Or whatever it was. Or journalists.
Journalists, waitresses, they're all the same thing nowadays.
Talk about a misogynist sexist. Jesus Christ.
I didn't even think about that. I better delete this video. Ooh, demonetized.
Yeah.
Ooh, demonetized.
You're gonna start hanging out with Steven Crowder.
But you know what? Honestly though, I think Tony Stark was pretty much a D-list character too. He wasn't like one of the big flagship characters. That's the whole thing.
That's why the whole success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe was Marvel. They gave out all their big, the X-Men, Spider-Man, Hulk. I have to stay in business, and then when it's time to make movies, like, well, we don't have all of these, so let's use someone that's. Let's just they did what they could. They did what they could, and it worked. It was a huge gamble. It was a huge gamble on Robert Downey Jr. because at the time he wasn't sober that long. Like it'd been a few years, but it was still like it was a risky actor to put on a set. Yeah, they didn't want to insure him and all that stuff. Yeah, I remember all that. Cause like I said, I've been a huge Robert Downey Jr. fan for a long time, so. Yeah, well, I guess that's what we really got for the show today. Sorry, folks, we didn't get into any of the finish up that South American deal here. I'm right now.
Please go to my Patreon. Support me over on Patreon. $1 a month will start getting you some exclusive content that I'm going to start dropping there on the Patreon for Patreon supporters only. So if you haven't already, go over there and support me on Patreon. Toss me a couple bucks, $5, $1. It doesn't matter. Become a Patreon supporter.
You think he's doing this for his health? Come on.
Yeah.
Cheapskate.
But again, thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed. Click the little bell so you get notifications anytime we have uploaded new content. If you like this.